So, how do you feel about single fathers?
Well, I think that like a single father can work. Like, I mean, my mom was single, and I know that's not like a dad, but I mean, I think I turned out all right, hopefully. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think without a mother there, you do kind of lose out on some of the things that like a mother can teach. But I think a dad is, for the most part, is still perfectly capable of raising, a child or two. Like, it's not like no, they definitely cannot do that. But I'm not going to say all. I feel like it's more likely the kid will turn out, that are. I mean, granted, that's super like elitist. I feel like of me to say it. If it has both a mother and a father unit working together, because I feel like mothers are more nurturing, and for the most part, and fathers are more like protector, provider. Like, a feminist would say that's not true, and that everyone is kind of the same. But and granted, it's not true for everyone, but for the most part, you kind of need both of those, parent units to produce for the most part, produce a really good child. I mean, like I said, it doesn't always have to happen. Like, you could definitely have a single father or mother to do it, but yeah, I guess a single father can do it as long as he's responsible and he's really concerned about his children. Because I feel like sometimes fathers, they don't really feel like as much of an attachment to their kids until they just kind of, let them do their own thing. Granted, that's not always the case, but it can happen, and I guess it can happen with really any parent. So yeah, that's really all I have to say.
How do you think society views single fathers?
I think society views single fathers as kind of the norm today. It's not as kind of bad looked upon like today as it was many years ago. And personally, I think that not like having one parent affects kids not only like when they're young, but also in their future. And not having that solid background of having two parents, it affects them for the rest of their life.
How do you think society views unmarried fathers?
Well, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it depends because you don't know how they became single fathers, right? And so, was it through divorce? Are they widowed or something like that? I generally think that single fathers are usually looked at as, deserving of pity, I don't know, or support because they're single fathers. As opposed to a single mother, I think oftentimes people are willing to put more blame on a single mother. And a single father, I think they're willing to say, oh, look, there's a father stepping up, trying to raise his children, that kind of stuff. So I think that there's kind of there might be a little sexism involved with viewing single fathers versus single women, single mothers. But, like I said, you don't know, since you don't know the circumstances, you don't understand why they're a single father, I think it just kind of depends. So.
How do you think society views unmarried fathers?
I mean, in the society that we live in today, I would say it's not as big as it used to be because the society that we live in and the way that the world is changing on an everyday basis. I am an unmarried father myself. With the way the generation is these days and the way that things are going, I guess it's just natural now to where it's just normal. So I don't believe that it's viewed any type of way. It's not how it used to be where you had to be married and things like that. It's not as big anymore. So I don't really think there's any specific view on it right now.
How do you think society views single fathers?
I think that it's more of a norm in society today to be a single parent, but I also think that it affects children growing up and later in life because they didn't have the two solid parental figures in their life.
How do you think society views single fathers?
Well, I feel like at this day and age, with all the amounts of divorced parents around, it's less of a culture shock than it was, 50 or 30 or 20 years ago. But I also feel like it shows dedication to the father to his children. And so, yeah.